Okay, our session for today will deal with human development, the meaning, the concepts, and approaches. Okay, second to that, we are going to discuss the stages of development and developmental tasks. Now, the question is, why are these topics included in our course? In the course, EDUC 101, child and adolescent learners, and the learning principles. So development is one thing that we do inside the school. And development for learners happens not only inside the school. We mold our learners to become better individuals, and that's development. That's why we need to understand what is human development. We need to understand the nature of human development and how we can approach this development. Why? First, to understand our learners, okay? As a future educator, it is a responsibility and a requirement for you to start from your learners. Lahat ng bagay-bagay na gagawin natin inside the classroom, ang umpisa, yung mga mag-aaral, hindi ikaw. You're not the star, okay? You are not the star in the classroom. So everything that you do, all your actions, all your words are based on the needs of your learners, the interest of your learners. That's why we need to understand human development so we would know how to approach teaching. Okay? Second topic is the stages of development and developmental tasks. So what are these activities? What are these developmental tasks that are present in each stage? Okay, iumpisahan natin yan from infancy, moving to childhood, moving to teenage years, moving to adulthood. But in our case, bibigyan natin ng emphasis, we will put emphasis on those ages which are commonly present in school. Or this is what we call the school age. Yun ang bibigyan natin ng focus. Wala naman siguro magtuturo ng fetus sa inyo. So, yung prenatal, may balak ba kayong turuan ng mga nasa tiyan pa? Okay? I think that's the job of a mother. Okay? That's the job of a mother. Yung papakinggan niya yung music, di ba? To develop the baby inside better by means of nourishing her own body. Okay? Trabaho yun ng isang nanay. Ang trabaho natin as teachers will be on school age. Yung preschool, that's kinder, sa around 3 to 5 years old yung mga ganon. And then elementary, ages 7 to 12. High school, that's ages 13 to 16 for junior high school, and then 17, 18 for senior high school. Now, if you have plans to teach college, don't worry because we'll also tackle the developmental task for the adults. Okay? Are you ready? Isang thumbs up dyan kung ready na. Ay, wow. Dahil nga liway lamig thumbs up. Ay, balo din thumbs up. Pwedeng king screen, pwede kitang monitor. So, as long as I can see your thumbs up. So, mayakit kung talagang ready na kayo ni. So, memotang na. Sir, mamatak ko. First day tapang make it ang matakot. No, I'm just challenging you. Okay? Kasi king challenge ka rin ko magigising. Patatuturan nyo ko. Pataruguni patutod na kaking screen na mo pabalo na. Mimingat mo naman. Ayoko tututuran, ayoko lalakuan. Ayoko tutukiking sala. Anak ko pa. Okay. Our session objectives for today will be, first, to define terms, concepts, and approaches in relation to human development. Second, identify pertinent provisions on the rights of children and young persons. Pertinent, important provisions on the rights of children and young persons. Like, there are certain instances that teachers force learning to happen kahit hindi pa handa yung bata. Always remember that this human development, okay, that development for people is not common to all. We have different pacing. We have different speed, okay? Because we have individual differences. Iba-iba ng pace. And huwag mong ihalin tulad si learner letter A kay learner letter B. Na kung bakit sila learner letter B, bakit ang bagal-bagal niyang matuto? Okay? Samantalang si letter A, learner letter A, napakabilis siyang matuto. Do not compare them like that. Consider them as unique people. Consider them as individual learners inside the classroom. So do not compare. Kaya nga sa K-12 mapapansin nyo, tinanggal na yung mga top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5. Wala nang ganyan. Ano na ngayon ang meron, Miss Chico? How do we address honor students?
Oh, yung may with honors po, tsaka
Okay,
with
correct.
high honors.
Okay. Na kahit 50 pa yan, 100, kung na-meet nila yung grade, lahat tatanggapin. Hindi na lang yung top 10 because top 10 is somewhat stressful. They found it stressful and the experts believe that it causes stress to children. And yung competition niya, dahil 10 lang, kahit magaling ka, dahil number 11 ka, hindi ka matanggap. Okay? They will not accept you to be part of the top students. But now, at present, everybody has the chance to be part of the honor roll. Okay? That's the difference now that we have at present. So again, that's the right of the children. Kung na-meet naman nila yung grade, why not? Diba? Why not classify them as honor students, as top students? Okay? Ang daming nagko-commit ng suicide dahil lang sa mga top 10 na yan. Kaya ngayon, under K-12, we have this classification na kahit sila pang lahat sa isang klase, they have the chance to get into let's admit one. Wait lang ha, may... Okay. So third objective will be to describe and analyze the present situation of Filipino children and adolescent. It's not adolescent, okay? It's adolescent. Now, what is their status at the moment? Ano nga ba sila ngayon? Would you agree if I say that, again, our Zoom telecon is about to end. Naka 40 minutes na kasi tayo. Pag naubos na yung 40 minutes at nag-off siyang pusa, balik lang dun sa same link. Just click the same link. Okay? What type of generation we have? Will you agree if I say our learners before are different compared to the learners that we have at present? Thumbs up na dyan kung naniniwala kayo. Sinong hindi na lang naniniwala? Can you turn on your microphone if you don't believe that from generation to generation, learners change? Okay, walang nag-turn on. It means to say that you agree with that statement, that from generation to generation, learners change. And that's true. Okay? Kaya nga sinasabi ng magulang nyo, di ba? Nung kami noon, okay? The time before, ganito kami, ganyan, ganyan. Bakit kayo ngayon? Because the learners change. Okay? Mapa, from generation to generation, according to studies, learners change. Ayun ang isagot niya sa magulang niyo. And this is how we learn. Okay? Bana kang kamuanan pa muna. If you will justify it like that. No, but that's the reason. That's a fact. That's a common knowledge that learners change. So do not compare one generation to the other. As teachers, what we need to adjust is our strategy, is our way of teaching. The learners will not adjust for us. Okay? Ngayon, ano ba ang Filipino learners at present? If you're going to describe them. First, they are more on technology. Ayan. Ang dami nilang alam sa technology. Na minsan magugulat ka, isang 2-year-old, alam ng pindutin ang cellphone. At iba't ibang features, kalkalin ang iba't ibang features ng cellphone. Okay, samantalang nung panahon namin, ang meron lang kami is brick game. Ang po itang titimid at tindan ng mga balamparo lang ang shooting magkabilang side. Yun lang meron kami. But imagine, an adult at present finds it hard to learn about the features of the cell phone. Ang dami niyang gugugulin na weeks, na buwan, para lang matutunan ang features ng isang smartphone. Pero ang isang bata na binigyan mo ng cellphone, ang bilis matuto. So that's one unique characteristic or trait of children and adolescent at present time. Ano pa? Gusto nila yung mabilisan. Umamin kayo, buritang agad-agad at you. Okay, kaya nga, mayroong, pag nag-research ka, agad-agad si Google. Type lang, andun na agad yung sagot. Unlike before, gustong-gustong pumupunta ng library. Iisa-isahin yung libro, tatsagain. Okay? They will patiently read the books to get the information they want to get. Okay? But at present, gusto mabilisan lahat-lahat, gustong instant. Okay? Madaling mainit. Like at this point, I know for sure some of you are getting bored. Kasi, no, yung attention span ngayon, paikli na ng paikli because of many distractions. And that's the type of generation we have the present. Now, the challenge now, okay, for teachers is how to get the attention of this Filipino learners at present, given that they are like this. Babaguhin ba natin sila or are we going to adjust our strategy? The answer is we will adjust our strategy, our teaching strategy. The teacher will adjust. Okay? Never, it's a no-no that you ask your learners to adjust for you. Kasi ang K-12 ngayon, it's learner-centered. Tayo ang mag-a-adjust. Our strategy. Okay? Baka naman hindi akma yung strategy na ginamit mo for that learner. Baka naman yung ginamit mong pag-game ay panahon pa ng lola at lola mo at predictable na yung mga gagawin. Okay? So make these games interesting, relevant to your learners. So the first thing before teaching, bago ka magturo, kilalanin mo kung sino yung estudyante mo, yung magiging mag-aaral mo. No, first, identify first your learners. Okay? That's the starting point. Kaya nga pansinin niyo pag enrollment, kinukuha lahat ng info. Okay? Meron pa doon yung hobbies sometimes, no? Sa mga forms. Hobbies, dialect, yung address kung saan siya, profile, everything about the profile. The interest of the learners kasi that will be the basis for the teacher in his or her lecture, in his or her discussion. Kapag nakita ko na maraming musically inclined sa klase ko, aba, take that to your advantage as teacher. I will discuss using music because that's what they are interested in. That's the point of profiling. That's the point of knowing your learners. And that's the point why we have this course, okay? Why we have this topic, human development. Why we have this course, EDUC 101, children or the child and adolescent learners and the principles of learning. That's the reason why we have this. For them, for us to understand our learners, your future learners, okay? Gusto nyo maging teacher, make sure that you find time knowing your learners. It's not only about you, it's not only about your dream. It's about the dream of these people which will be in front of you sooner or later. And last objective is to identify the physical and motor development in childhood and adolescence. Baka naman yung isang grade 1, pinapagawa mo ng isang activity na pang high school or pang grade 6. Okay? It's a no-no again. That's why we will have a refresher course about the things that a toddler can do, a child can do, a teenager can do. Ano ba ang kaya nilang gawin? Yan ang magiging focus ng discussion natin for this session. Okay? Para alam nyo kung anong mga klaseng activities ang pwede nating ipagawa. Okay? Lalo na pag toddler, magbibigay ka ba ng mga objects like marble, holland? No. Okay? Kasi alam mo na ang toddler, nasa exploratory stage pa sila. Okay? Baka mamaya, first year of teaching mo, nagpalaro ka marbles, inakmul, katapusan mo na. Itong first year of teaching mo, aping na naman in last year. Okay? So, this course is also a way for you to watch out, okay, on your future actions as teachers, for you to be safe also. Okay? Para safe, nasa safe side tayo. Marami ng teacher na babalita sa TV ngayon na nagko-commit ng kung ano-anong mga violations. Sana wag na tayong dumagdag because as part of the teaching profession, you are responsible in protecting the dignity of our profession. Hindi lang para sa iyo. Kasi pag, alam niyo naman, pag sa TV, natulig sa isang teacher, lahat damay. Ganun na ang tingin sa lahat. So again, it's your responsibility to protect our profession, not only for you, but for the entire teaching community. Okay. This will be our session outline. And when say session outline, these are the topics which are involved for this session. First, we are going to define human development using different perspectives. Second, we are going to enumerate or list down the different principles of human development. Third, we are going to identify the two approaches to human development. Okay, the stages of development and developmental tasks by Sandra, and the developmental task by Okay. We have the following questions here on your screen. And I know you can see these questions. Now, I'd like you to comprehend on these questions because I'd like to get your opinion about this one. First question, why do aspiring teachers need to study human development? And I already answered a while back. So this is just a recall. Why do we need to study about the topic human development? Let's have Miss Tala.
Yes po, sir.
Yes,
Ano po
Miss
kasi yung
Tala.
tanong?
That's the question is on your screen.
Yung number 1 po ba?
Yes. Gusto mo na rin bang sagutin yung number 2?
Hindi po.
Okay. Baka lang naman. O, sige, Miss Tala. Why do aspiring teachers need to study about human development?
Kasi po, para accurate po yung mga strategy niya sa pagtuturo.
Okay. Correct. Okay. And when you say accurate, what we mean by that is it's appropriate to your learners. It becomes appropriate to your learners. Hindi lang yung bira ka ng bira kung ano yung tinuturo mo. Yung magaling ka, itong strategy mo, gumagamit ako ng computer, yung pala, yung mga tinuturuan mo is not interested with, let's say for instance, sa game, sa music, tapos pa-music ka ng pa-music. Okay? So it's a way for you to understand how to teach because you are going to teach these learners based on the way they want to learn, not on the way you want to teach. Okay, that's good, Miss Tala. What about for the second question? How does the understanding, so let's assume na tapos na ang session, naintindihan mo na yung human development, how will it help, okay, you or a teacher to facilitate learning? Let's have Miss Baol. Yes, Miss Baol, can you state your response for question number 2? Trisha?
Ano po yan, sir?
Question number 2, Trisha. What's your opinion?
How does...
Let's assume that you already have the understanding about human development. Now, how will it help you facilitate learning? Sabi kasi natin dito, it will provide means for you to identify what strategy to use. Now, nandun ka na sa strategy mo. Yes, Ms. Baol.
Excuse po, mag-charge lang po ako. 2% na lang po kasi ako.
Mabalang mag-volunteer yung Miss Santiago na sopa ni Miss Baol. Yes, Miss Santiago. Miss Julie Santiago?
Yes, sir. How does the understanding of human development help a teacher to facilitate? Being a soon-to-be teacher, sir, dapat alam mo po kung ano lang yung capacity ng isang student. Hindi basta-basta yung pwedeng ituro mo sa kanila.
Exactly. It will facilitate in a way, you're correct, Ms. Santiago, thank you for your response, in a way that you would know the limitations of your learners. Okay, and if you know the limitations, the borderline, hindi ka sosobra doon. Okay? Because dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari dyan. Either matutunan niya yun kasi niya excellent siya or mapahamak siya. Or ikaw. At malamang-lamang doon tayo sa mapapahama. So to be safe, understanding of human development will help you facilitate learning because you would know the limitations of every learner. That's the point of studying human development. Okay, that's Miss Julie Santiago. Thank you for your answer. Okay, meaning of human development. According to Soundtrack, development includes growth and decline. Bago ba? Nicole Garcia. Miss Nicole Garcia. Bago ba itong definition nito? It says here that development includes growth and decline. Bago ba ito sa iyo?
Hindi naman po. Kasi po yung development, kasama po yung pag-grow.
Kasama yung
Pag-grow.
what about decline? Kasi pag sinabing development, akala ko before it's only the positive things happening into a person. Pero sabi dito, it includes the decline. Development is inclusive of the decline.
Kasama po dun yung pagde-develop na. Parang sa life lang po yan. Habang dine-develop mo yung sarili mo, kasama yung parang failed ka, ganon.
Okay, failure is part of development. And yung sinasabing decline dito, maybe it has something to do with the physical aspect. Okay, that's good, Ms. Garcia. But when you say decline here, according to Soundtrack, di ba pag tumatanda na, ano ba nagde-decline? The physical aspect. Okay, and that's still development. That's part of development because expected as humans, okay, hindi naman tayo mga aliens na may superpower and we do not know if aliens really exist. Kung may nakakita man sa inyo na isa, baka naman pakilala niyo sila sa amin, no? For us to understand what superpowers mean and to meet these extraterrestrial elements. But as humans, okay, as people living on Earth, decline should be accepted as part of development. Natatanda, okay, at pag habang tumatanda, may mga bagay-bagay na hindi na kayang gawin. Like yung sense of hearing, sense of sight, nagde-decline. Okay? Yung paglalakad, pagtakbo, nagde-decline. So if in case, at pwede to, it's possible na magkaroon kayo ng learner na old age, eh nerugo pa pagpiing ka, itang mamamulandit, ne? Siguro po ang mga pakli-pakli, butul-butulan. So, pwede yun. It's possible at present because I could hear from news, from magazines, from newspapers, there are old people, senior citizens graduating from elementary, from high school, di ba? So, it's possible na makamit kayo ng mga taong or learners na ganito. So, take note, at the moment, decline is part of development. So, development is not only growth. It's both. It's both growth and decline. This means that development can be positive or negative. So if you are witnessing or observing people having the negative way of developing, it's still development. Okay? That's what you call decline or the negative way of development. At merong mga bagay na kayang solusyonan. Let's say for instance, sa attitude, sa paglalakad, isang taon na hindi pa naglalakad, and i-guide mo. Okay? I-guide mo, hawakan mo, at i-train mo, i-exercise mo para maglakad. Yun, kaya yun i-facilitate. But there are things, traits, attributes that decline and cannot be controlled. Katulad ng pagtanda. Okay? Kahit mag-donate ka pa na mag-donate ng collagen dyan, we will all grow old. Kahit ano pa ang paglalagay natin sa mukha, we will reach that point. We will all decline in terms of physical aspect. Okay? So that's the first definition according to Soundtrack. Next, according to Corpuz, okay, the author of the official reference which we shall use for this course, and nasa syllabus nyo. It is the pattern of movement or change that begins at the conception, yung, when say conception, yung prenatal, yung pinagbuntis ka ng magulang mo, and continues through the lifespan. So at this point, Miss Valencia, can you say at this point you are still developing?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because, sir, kahit basta po buhay yung isang tao, developing or growing doesn't stop there, sir.
Okay,
Basta
so our
kapag-
assumption at this point is that development continues as long as you live. Okay,
Yes,
that's
sir.
correct. Yun nga lang mahugutan na ng hininga, di ba? Meron pa siyang realization sa sarili niya. Okay, may mga bagay-bagay pa siyang ganito pa lang namamatay, sakit. Hindi ako makahinga. Okay? Yeah, that's still development. That's still part of development. Okay? That's according to Corpus. So, ang stance ni Corpus, development is continuous. It never stops. It only stops once you die. Okay? Meron na bang gusto humintong na dito? Wala. O kaya huwag kayong hihinto. Kasi sabi dyan, development stops when you die. So, eko tutok ng mag-aaral. Do not stop researching. Do not stop listening to your subjects, to your instructors. Do not stop growing. Okay. Another, this is actually a quote from the internet, and I fell in love with this quote. Among all the definitions of human development, ito yung pinaka-paborito ko. Sabi dito, human development is defined as the process of enlarging people's freedoms and opportunities. Okay, like at this point, you are educating yourself. For what? Because you want to have academic freedom. Okay, you want to have better future. Okay, better opportunities in the future. Kaya nga nag-aaral kayo. Okay? And improving their well-being. So, ito in contrast dun sa definition ni Sandrak na decline. Ito, according to this quote, human development is a way to improve the well-being. Well, the word decline is something subjective. Growing old is something subjective. Our way of perceiving old age is something subjective. Meron yung natatakot, meron yung handa. They view it positively. So it depends on the nature of the person, how they view these changes happening into themselves or into their lives. Human development is about real freedom. Ordinary people have to decide who to be, what to do, and how to live. Katulad ngayon, kanina, bago kayo nag-attendance, nag-decision kayo, papasok ba ako o hindi? Yan, what to do. Okay, you decided to be here because you want to be someone in the future. Gusto kong makapasa. I want to be a teacher in the future. I want to gain a licensure examination a passing grade. I want to have that LPT after my name. Ayan, that's who to be and how to live. So if you are thinking about these questions, these WH questions, who to be, what to do, how to live, you are developing as a human. Pag hindi nga ganyan ang tanong mo sa sarili mo, baka naman meron development pero hindi nga lang as a human. Okay, baka ibang aspeto ng development yan. Yung development na hindi makatao, no? Okay, that's the meaning of human development. Next topic, the major principles of human development. So what are these principles? First, it says here, development is relatively orderly. Anong ibig sabihin yan? That statement saying development is relatively orderly. Yes, Miss Sapico. Lizelle? Is this Lezil or Lizelle? Did I pronounce your name correctly? Lizelle or Lezil? I don't know. Lizelle, okay. Miss Sapico, how do you understand this clause? Development is relatively orderly. Keyword here is orderly.
Development is relatively orderly, which means development.
Okay, kaya mo yan, Lizelle. Nandito lang kami sa likod mo. Okay, nakaantabay. Paglaban mo ang future
Parang
mo.
nakano po siya, sir. Oo. Step by step.
Okay, correct.
Step by step po siya, sir.
Na hindi pwedeng i-skip yung isa. Okay, when say step by step, imagine nyo na lang yung isang bata.
Step by step.
May bata, anong unang natututunan ng bata? Lalakad agad? Naglalakad ba agad?
No.
No. Anong unang natututunan, Miss Sapico?
No, sir.
What's the first movement they learn? Speaking
As
of
a baby.
movement of from one place to the other, anong unang natutunan nila? Paglakad, pagtayo, paggapang, pagdapa.
Speaking.
Pagdapa.
Dapa
Okay,
po.
dadapa muna,
Yes.
diba? Nyapin taglelot dalay, kung sinakablalan, eh. Another, katapos na dumapa, susunod doon ay yung what's next?
Gagapang.
Pagtayo.
Tatayo na, kadadapa pa lang,
gagapang.
tatayo na lang, Miss Sapico.
Agapang, sorry, sir.
Gagapang, sir.
Ganito lang si Miss Sapico. Gagapang muna, they will learn how to Crawl. Parang si
Gagapang.
Lamang lang, nung nabuhay
Yes.
ang epiko ni Lamang, no? Agad tumayo at nakalakad. Siyang nagdesisyon
Opo.
ng sarili niyang pangalan. At hinanap niya ang magulang niya. Alam niya na agad yung problema. O, extraordinary yung mga ganon. Again, dadapa, and then, gagapang. After that,
Gagapang.
ayan, unti-unti
Tatayo na.
nakakaupo na, right? Pagkatapos makaupo, tatayo. Yung patayo-tayo
Opo,
lang
tas
muna na
tatayo
may
na
hawak
po.
sa gilid and then maglalakad na yan. So it's orderly. Hindi pwedeng maglalakad tapos matututunan niyang gumapang. Tapos matututunan niyang dumapa. No. Development is again relatively orderly. Lesson again, when you teach,
Orderly.
it should be in order correct, Miss Sapico. Okay? That when you teach the basic mathematical operations, ano bang unang tinuturo? Yes, Miss Almazan.
Sir?
Pag pinag-usapan natin ng mathematical operations, yung MDAS, ano bang unang tinuturo dyan? Palagay mo, balikan mo yung lessons nyo nung grade 1 kayo. Anong unang tinuro sa'yo sa mga mathematical operations na yun?
Plus, minus, ganun, sir.
Dalawa yun. Isa lang. Ano yung una? Plus or minus? Addition or subtraction?
Addition.
Okay, addition muna. Okay? Because addition and subtraction, susunod yung subtraction. Addition and subtraction are lessons that they need when it is already the right time for them to learn about multiplication and division. Kasi pag nag-multiply ka, kailangan mong mag-add. Correct? Miss Almazan? Okay, it should be
Yes, sir.
taught in order. Kasi nga sa principle na yan, development is relatively orderly. Punta naman tayo sa physical aspect. Anong unang nade-develop? Yung upper body or lower body? Tignan niyo yung bata. Ano yung mas dominant na feature sa kanila? Upper body or lower body? Yes, Miss Chavez.
Upper po.
Miss Chavez. Upper. Okay, correct. Tignan niyo yung ulo ng bata, yun yung dominant, di ba? Ang laki-laki ng ulo pag pinanganak. And then yung the body. And then, susunod, hahaba yung mga kamay at yung paa. So it's, again, relatively ordered. Hindi pwedeng malaki yung kamay and then maliit yung katawan at yung ulo. May sakit na yung bata, no? Okay? Extreme cases yung mga ganon. But normally, it starts from the head moving downward. Okay, that's the physical development, which is also relatively orderly. Next principle about human development. While pattern of development is likely to be similar, magkakapareho, the outcomes of developmental processes and the rate of development are likely to vary among individuals. So mapapansin nyo, tingnan nyo lang sa babae at lalaki, sino unang tumatangkad? Early ages. Sino mas matangkad? Yes, Miss Waja, I remain. Based on your observation, nung elementary years, sino ang mga mas matatangkad? Babae pa o lalaki? Babae, di ba? Sila yung mas matangkad nung elementary. Pero pagdating ng high school, ito yung tinatawag na growth spurt. Okay? Na biglang tatangkad yung mga lalaki. So, that's what we mean. Pareho naman tatangkad yung development in terms of growth. Okay? The height growth. But then, in terms of rate, in terms of the outcome, iba-iba. May tumangkad, merong medyo tumangkad, merong sobrang tangkad, merong hindi masyadong katangkaran, at merong pinag-iwanan ng katangkaran. Okay? Meron namang height development pero konting-konti lang. Okay? Depende na yun sa physical structure niya. So again, the pattern of development is likely to be similar. Commonly, pare-pareho ang pattern of development. But in terms of rate, in terms of the processes, iba-iba because we have different genetic composition. Okay? Iba ang nanay mo sa nanay ko. Iba ang tatay mo sa tatay ko. Another, in terms of emotional development, bakit iba-iba ang reaction ng mga estudyante sa loob ng classroom nung sinabi mo yon? Kasi nga, they come from different cultural backgrounds. Ayan. individual differences because of family background, cultural backgrounds. So that's what we mean by the second principle. So commonly, we have the same pattern of development. Commonly, merong mga cases kasi na merong isang learner or isang tao na yung pattern of development niya kakaiba. Yun na yung tinatawag na mga gifted. It's a phenomenon. It's extraordinary. Kaya nga nalalagay sila sa Guinness Book World of Record. Nababalita sila sa TV. Okay? Na 2-year-old pa lang, marunong nang mag-memorize ng mga flags ng iba't ibang bansa. Okay? Alam ng iba't ibang planeta, mga bituin sa langit. That's what we call extraordinary. Extraordinary pattern ng development niya. Next, third principle. Development takes place gradually. What do we mean by this, Miss Buan? Miss Buan?
Yes po. Narinig na po kasi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Parang konti-konti po.
What do we mean by gradually again?
Parang konti-konti po nade-develop yung yung growth po ng isang tao.
So when say gradual, Miss Buan, your understanding is pakonti-konti. Little by little,
Parang
step by
ganun din
step.
po. Step-by-step
Okay.
din po.
Okay, exactly. It's gradual. Hindi siya pinipilit. Okay? Hindi siya immediate. May mga development na ang tagal-tagal. Okay? But you cannot say that they are not developing.
Kasi po ikaw po mismo yung gumagawa ng ng pag-grow mo po. Nasa sarili niyo po yun.
Okay, let's say for...
Kung gusto niyo pong
Okay, correct. But again, it's gradual. Katulad ng mga pagtanda, it's gradual. Hindi naman agad-agad matanda. Unless yung sa mga may cases na yung physical features nila, yung mukha ng matanda. May mga cases kasing ganyan. I just forgot the name of the disease. Actually, sakit yung ganon. Okay? Meron naman yung kahit ang tanda-tanda na baby face pa rin. Okay? So again, development takes place gradually. So lesson here, when you are inside the classroom, consider your learners learning gradually, learning at their own pace. Okay? Hindi agad-agad isusubong mo yung isang ulam sa estudyante mo kahit ayaw niya. It should be gradual. Okay? It should be gradual, pa konti-konti. Kaya nga pag nagle-lesson tayo, it's in chunks. Hindi naman isang session na ganito, isang libro na ituturo ko sa inyo. No, that's impossible. You need to learn the basic first before we move to the complex. Again, development takes place gradually. Okay, and there are certain skills that you need to learn. Okay, you need to understand. There are certain experiences that we need to gain before we move into another. So, merong mga requirement. Katulad niya ng sinabi natin kanina, sa bata lang, physically, bago siya matutong gumapang,